A bit earlier today, I spoke with Congressman Kevin McCarthy, who was also at the White House yesterday. Kevin McCarthy, House Majority Leader, good morning and welcome back here to America's Newsroom.
Good morning.
Start with the meeting last night. How did it go? What happened?
I thought it was good. You know, it was an introductory meeting. It was his first day technically on the job on a Monday. He's bringing the leaders from the House and the Senate, Republicans and Democrats together just to talk about, to get to know one another from his perspective and to talk about health care, taxes, infrastructure, knowing that we will disagree sometimes, but these are the items to get America moving. And he started the meeting with, I thought, was the right tone. He said, look, America is tired of Washington not solving problems, and he wants to solve some things, and one was health care, taxes, and infrastructure.
Well, these are big topics, so I want to push through these as we go along here in our couple of minutes here. It's been reported that he suggested that illegal voters cost him the popular vote. Did you hear that? Did he say that?
We were bantering about the election going on and back and forth on different things. But I mean, the real topic was about how we move forward, about health care. And he said President Obama sent him a beautiful letter. He didn't give us all the details, but he did stipulate one item. He said if we had a better health care plan and we showed that he could support it. That's when we got into health care, where even the Democrats said if we had a better health care plan, they could support it as well.
It seems that a lot of these conversations, he talks a lot about the election and the outcome there, and this has come up repeatedly. But specifically on Obamacare, Senate Republicans just yesterday put together a replacement idea. They put it forward, Bill Cassidy and Susan Collins. Is there wide support for this idea on behalf of these two Republicans?
Well, they have one idea, but there's a lot of ideas out there. What really needs to happen, and this is where the Senate has to start moving, and this is part of the discussion we had yesterday with Senator Chuck Schumer. We need the cabinet in place because in the Obamacare, there is so much power that rests with the Health and Human Service Secretary. So Tom Price has to be in place before you do anything with Obamacare, so you have the understanding of what can and cannot happen. So we were really pressing him.
Do you think
Yes.
Tom Price will be approved?
I do believe Tom Price will be approved,
so then
I believe he will do a very good job.
The idea from this Obamacare replacement yesterday was to establish these medical savings accounts. And in short, what Senator Cassidy believes is that when Americans know what they're spending, they will keep their spending in check, and that's how you bring the cost down. Is this something Republicans can support or not, sir?
Yes, I think that is a big element. I've always believed in that. That gives you that is one element as you go forward. Also a tax credit, so those who can afford could be into the marketplace to have greater choice. There are many elements in it to have a better health care plan, but I think health savings accounts is one idea that has always been a strong idea.
Let's talk about infrastructure spending. I know you say that all spending begins in the House, and you are correct on that according to the Constitution. Senate Democrats want to put forward a $1 trillion spending idea on infrastructure. Now, you know, the president has talked about this as well during the campaign and since then. Is this something that can get through a Republican-led Congress?
Well, there'd be a couple questions. It'd have to be paid for. We can't just continue to borrow with the amount and size of our debt. Secondly, you cannot put forward an infrastructure plan that takes another 20 years before you build something. You have to have reforms. These problems when you go forward and you pass a bill, but then you study it for another 20 years before you can build something, is arcane in the process. So you have to have reforms in that process, but it also has to be paid for. But I believe there is a way to get an infrastructure bill done.
No, that would be significant. One more thing, tax reform. You say this is the biggest difference maker to the American economy. President Trump yesterday talked about massive tax cuts for the middle class and for businesses across the country. When will this happen?
Well, we're starting on it now. You have to have growth in this economy. This is the #1 thing to happen. Growth will solve so many of our problems when you talk about infrastructure and everything else. And tax reform is the great ability for us to do it. It puts us on a better playing field. It brings jobs back to America. Think of all that money. Structure dictates behavior. I say it so many times before. Our tax structure today actually pushes companies out of America. The profits they make in other countries, it keeps it in other countries instead of bringing it back to America. It will bring back and growth into this country in a different level, and it will be a fairer process in so many different ways.
I understand,
I understand
the argument you're making. Is this weeks away or months away?
Months away. It's not an easy process to get done, but I will tell you it will get done this year.
Thank you for your time. Kevin McCarthy, Majority Leader on the Hill. Thank you, sir. We'll speak again.
Thank you so much.